We're going to take a look at the top 10 eBay sales of comic books from June 2023. Up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. We're getting really close to 4,500 subscribers, and then we're going to be heading towards 5,000. We're going to be doing some big giveaways at 5,000. Also, follow us on other social media, Bronzeville_Comics on Instagram, same thing on Whatnot. And if you've not yet signed on to Whatnot, you get $10 credit off your first purchase, whether it's with me or not, if you sign up using the link in the description of this video. Also in the description of this video is a link to my eBay store as well as my email. So we're going to take a look at the top 10 eBay sales from June of 2023. Not all of them are verified. When I did the video last month, some viewers gave me some information on websites that can be used to find the final average sales. Some of them are more useful than others, and some of the prices I was able to track down. For instance, I'm going to give an honorable mention. A book that is listed as a sale on eBay, and it's interesting, when I scrolled through sold items on eBay, none of them had the horizontal line through it for best offer accepted. There was a Chamber of Chills number 9, Marvel Bronze Age Horror, a 20-cent book, a CGC 9.8, which is a hard book to get for a black cover from, I believe it's 1974. The list price was $50,000 Canadian. I was able to use pricecharting.com, which is more for cards than it is for comics, and find out, according to them, the actual sale price was $1,509.67, which makes sense because the last sale of a 9.8 for this particular book was in 2015 for $198. So $1,500 is a pretty robust sale for that book, but a sale of 50,000 Canadian would be ridiculous. And so it actually wasn't. Now, pricecharting.com, they don't have all the grades available. You can find some raw sales, but they only have certain grade points available. I think it was like they did have a 9.8. I think it was like 4.0, 6.0, 8.0. So I looked up some of the other books on this list that had best offer accepted, and that information was not available. There was another website that I had used in the past, but it seems as though they may no longer have that information. That's watchcount.com. If you look under there, how it works, they have actually a horizontal line that says FYI, best offer selling prices may be displayed for relevant items. That's crossed out. So maybe they gave up. They don't have the ability to find that information out anymore. I don't know how it's done. Maybe somebody was able to kind of backdoor their way into the eBay sales and eBay put up more protections. I don't know. If you have more information, please leave it in the comments below. That would be useful to me and also other members of the community who want to find actual sales values. So let's get started with these big comic book sales. Starting at number 10, a copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, first print, signed and sketched by Kevin Eastman, sold at auction with 88 bids for $18,100, which I think was a great deal for the buyer because a year ago, the 1 year average, I guess the only sale within the last year of a 9.0 of this book was $19,705. And you would figure a signature series book, it did get a gold label, would go for more. Alas, it did not. So I would imagine the seller is kind of disappointed, the buyer pretty happy. And in general, that tends to be something that you often see when you're talking about the difference between the auction and a buy it now on eBay. Although there are exceptions that we'll see coming up. Number 9 on the list is another auction. It was a copy of Incredible Hulk 181 in a CGC 9.6. That at auction, after 41 bids, sold for $18,600. That's down from the high of $35,000 in May of 2021. Now, there was also a sale for $17,500 in June. However, a fixed price just sold in July for $23,500. So almost a $5,000 difference in that book between the winning price at an auction on eBay and a fixed price on eBay. Number 8, and we're going to see a lot of Spidey. Number 8 on this list, Amazing Spider-Man number 1, CGC 5.5, sold at a buy it now for $19,000, which was a pretty strong sale considering the Heritage auction in May. One sold for $14,400. This is down from the high value in April of 2022 during the comic boom of $26,400. But still, I think, all things considered, $19,000, and it's a buy it now, was a strong selling price. I think in this case, I think the seller got the better end of the deal. Number 7 is a curious one and a difficult one to actually figure out the value. It is a lot. It was Avengers 1 through 46, all graded in CGC, that sold at a buy it now for $20,000. The best offer was accepted, so it probably went for south of that. And I'll throw up some pictures of different books in the lot. So it was issues 1 through 46, all of them graded. And just as a kind of a starting point, Avengers number 1 in a 4.5 has a 90-day average of $3,360. So it's like 6 times that amount that the person paid for the entire lot. There are some keys. There are a few Stanley signatures in this lot, but I'm not sure. I think $19,000 is a pretty good price that, considering you're selling in bulk. Usually in bulk, the buyer gets a little bit of a break if you're going to buy 46 issues at once, because it saves a lot of work from the seller having to buy or to sell, list, ship, etc. 46 different books. So I think the seller did pretty well at letting that go for $20,000. Number 6 on the list is Amazing Fantasy 15. First appearance of Spider-Man in a CGC 2.5, which sold for $24,500 at auction after 62 bids. Now, this is an interestingly strong sale because the same price of a 3.0 in April, a 3.0 sold for the same price in April, the exact same price of $24,500. And this particular auction was higher than the last 2 sales in grade. And for an eBay auction, that is something fairly significant. It is down $21,000 from the maximum in January of 2022, which was a max value for this grade of $45,500. Let's go to number 5 and talk about a rainbow label. Amazing Fantasy 15 in a CGC 3.5 signature series and restored. It was signed by Stan Lee. It had restoration. The restoration, I should check. This book sold for $25,000. And you can see it has the yellow label with a little purple stripe up top. Right and bottom edge trimmed. So it's restoration that cannot be removed. It's not like color, touch, or glue. You're kind of stuck with it, but it's interesting. So it's not always easy to get prices on restored books or prices on Stanley signature books for huge keys. But a blue label, the last sale of a blue label was a Heritage auction for $36,000. So if you take, generally speaking, restored, just as a ballpark, about half of that, you're down to $18,000. Maybe you're paying $7,000 more for a Stanley signature. I don't know. I think that's a pretty strong sale for that book. I don't know if you had that kind of money, it would probably make, to me, more sense to go for a little bit lower grade. You might have to go down to like a 2.0 to get a Stanley signature. You could have gotten the 2.5 for $500 less. So That's kind of interesting. Now, this sale was really interesting. And I just want to verify it. Yes, it was not it was not a best offer accepted. Number 4 on the list. More Spidey. Amazing Spider-Man 300. A CGC 9.8 signature series signed by Stan Lee and Todd McFarlane. So, 2 huge signatures. Sold at a buy it now, not best offer accepted. Nothing's crossed out on the listing. $25,000. Now, the most recent Blue Label 9.8 sale of this book was for $3,600. This sold for $25,000. That's quite a premium for those 2 signatures. And again, this was the sale. There was no indication that it was the best offer accepted. So I think the seller did really well on this book for $25,000. Obviously, Stan Lee signatures, you're not getting any more of them. And to have him in coordination with Todd McFarlane on a yellow label is, I guess, somewhat rare. So, I guess, listing is a buy it now. They just found somebody that really wanted this particular book signed by those 2 creators in a 9.8. I don't know how many of them there are. Let's look at number 3 on the list. And that is Marvel Spotlight 5, the first appearance of Ghost Rider in a CGC 9.4, which had a best offer accepted. The listing value, the buy it now, was for $26,500. The best offer was accepted. I was unable to find information about the actual sale price. As I said, I used the pricing charts, pricecharting.com. They did not have, they had like 9.0 and 9.8. They didn't have 9.4 available. Again, in the comments, if you have a resource that can get this information, I think myself and other viewers would be appreciative of that. I think this is a little high, $26,500 for this book. There was another sale in June for $15,000. So I don't know if that best offer sale would have even kept it on this top 10 list. Moving on, let's go to number 2. Another best offer accepted for the same price, $26,500, was Avengers 1 in a CGC 7.5, the first appearance of the Avengers. Again, this is probably more than double fair market value. The last 2 sales were $11,100 and $12,000. So $26,500 is quite high. Again, I could not find a valuation of this book for the actual sale price. So again, and be wary, because you'll see in the pictures I've included, it doesn't have the slash when you look at just sold listings when the best offer is accepted. I don't know why eBay changed that, or it's just like a glitch or something. I don't know. And the number 1 sale in June of 2023 was a best offer that was accepted. No, I'm sorry, a buy it now that was accepted. No best offer accepted for a lower price. And Spider-Man. Amazing Fantasy 15. First appearance of Spider-Man in a CGC 4.5, sold for $46,000. That's a good sale. The previous sale prior to this was a heritage auction for $43,200, and there was a July sale, also a heritage auction for $40,800. So $46,000, somewhere between a $3,000 and $6,000 premium or increase that this seller got for the book. So good for them. Absolute Comics and Statues in Astoria, they had a nice sale, and it just goes to show that Spider-Man, I mean, you had 3 copies of Amazing Fantasy 15, 1 copy of Amazing Spider-Man 1, and 1 copy of Amazing Spider-Man 300 on this list. So half the list was Spider-Man, and all of it, other than the Turtles book, were Marvel books. Now, the sales are reasonably strong, and I don't think you can glean anything about the overall market here. If you look at Swagelhouse, does a great job at charting a whole bunch of books, like 100 different books from each era, to see how they chart over time, sort of like a comic book version of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Again, some prices were pretty strong. I would say more strong prices than good deals on these books. Again, you're looking at the highest selling values, and a couple that we're not really sure of what the actual sale price was because of the fact that they weren't, there's no public disclosure of that. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, you can check out a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.